A very good afternoon to you, and welcome to the Happiness Country Club right here in Najusi, Gwangnamilbo. It's about that time when we get into round two of the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Open. Remember, at the Happiness Country Club, it's a par 72 for the asking 6,152 meters. We got through round one yesterday. And today in round two, just to keep you updated, Madasom, Yugina, and Park Haijun lead the way with an 8 underscore in tied first. It's going to be quite a battle here today because remember, what's going to happen here is that the dew sweepers and the dawn breakers have pretty much shown us that it's going to be the trimmings. That is the cream of the crop that'll make it through to tomorrow. So today's event is very, very important. Yesterday was partly cautious, partly experimental. Today it will have to be an extreme focus more than even tomorrow because you want to make the cut for tomorrow's final round. We are, of course, we're looking at two courses today. That's the happy course and the human course. I do love the fact that the happy course, of course, has a bush that is trimmed with the name. Absolutely stunning. It's a different color from all the other greens, and the shades are really beautiful. My name is Glenn Mascarenas, and I'm here to guide you through the day and to keep you company. And I'm glad that you are keeping me company as well. Mada Som, who's done extremely well today, is one of the joint leaders. Will look to birdie the 11th. It's a narrow miss for her. Shouldn't be too difficult to clean it up with an even score. That's an excellent well effort from Jung Ji-yo. Time for Bang Sil. She'll aim for birdie on hole 13. She's up to 7 under as well. Now that's it now as joint leader. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, she's such a terrific golfer to watch in action. And she's one of those that can rise and fall in waves in a particular tournament. But with 3 wins under her belt, this year, she could be aiming for a 4th. Now, here's Park Yeol as she aims for birdie on hole number 12. She's done extremely well in the latter part of the season. And, more power to Park Yeol. Oh, that's just slipped out at the wrong time. That ball certainly seemed to be on course for glory. Just a bit unfortunate here. She will clean that up. It shouldn't be too much of a worry. Keeping a perfect, well, copybook effort there. Will earn you a birdie, and I think she'll be happy about that. Very well done. Yugina aiming for birdie on hole 10. That would have just put her right at the top of the heap. She's still on 8 under, but I think she'll be able to keep that score intact. She's been very, very good today. Kind of gave us a few sparks of brilliance, sign of things to come yesterday. And I think she's done extremely well with what she's produced today on the course. Kangayul. Was easy to get that in. Not too much of a worry. Lee Shuying. She's on hole 15. She's got a 7 under score. She's done very well for herself, you know, and she's been, well, noticed not just, you know, in Asian circles, but abroad as well. Well, I do love the fact she's got sass. There's no doubt about that. I really love that. I love those ribbons, and but she's kind of watching on the previous event as well. She definitely has style. Cho Ayan now goes next as she aims for birdie on hole number 12. Was doing fairly well yesterday. Kind of had, well, a few troubles here and there. Hit a few rough spots as well. And that's how you can, well, shut a commentator up. Absolutely wonderful. Lovely effort there from Cho Ayan. She goes up to a 3 under. Han Jin-seon, second stroke for hole 10. Yugi now will tee off for hole 11. Kim Min-sol, she's on to her second stroke for hole 10. She's got a 5 under, well, in the bag right now. Gyun will tee off for hole number 1. Well, that's a plumb placement right there on the carpet. Not an issue at all. So I think Bangchen's still really coming into her own today. Yesterday was just kind of warming up, and it's today that she's actually started to, well, really shine. And I think that that's the important part. If you can actually pull yourself together and you know, well, keep yourself kind of grounded. Lee Jae-yoon will now tee off for hole number 1. She's got an 8 over. Was looking a lot stronger yesterday, but I think she's hit a few roadblocks along the path, and I think that's been a bit of a worry for her. She's a very good golfer on her day. And I do believe that a lot of the golfers, may have not actually had the chance to have played a contest here. Maybe a couple of rounds, but a literal contest. Park Hae-jun tees off for hole number 10. And I'm saying that in a very nice manner because having played a few rounds of golf on a course is never a measure of an actual contest. Because in a contest, well, things differ. There's pressure situations, there's rules and regulations that happen to be very tight. There's everything that changes the entire outcome of the game. Han Jin-seon aims for birdie on hole number 10. She's on a 4 under right now. Wonderful effort from her. She was really shining in yesterday's event, and today she's had 2 bogeys in there. But I do love the fact she's always got a smile on her face, Han Jin-seon. And it's really nice to see golfers who can always carry the good with the bad and, still display your 32 pearly whites. Hwang Min-jung aims for birdie on hole 13. This could take her up to the top, and yes, it will. So all the golfers getting their putts right now. Hwang Min-jung joins the leaderboard at the top. I really did believe that Han Jin-seon would be doing the same today, but, just as 2 bogeys kind of throwing her off course for a bit. Kim Min-sol now, it's a bit of a distance for her to earn a birdie, but she will attempt it, and I have been proved wrong many times. Didn't I say that? So Kim Min-sol moves up to 6, much to my delight as well. 2 bogeys, but 3 birdies for the day, and she'll be happy with that effort. Kim Soo-ji has surprisingly been a bit slow in this tournament. Aims for birdie on hole 13. But she's managed to nail that, so it's a 2 under for her. She's been one of the very consistent golfers this year, but had 3 bogeys there, on the out, and I think it was a bit of a worry for her. Meanwhile, Bang Chun-sil. Well, that should have just gone an inch or 2 more. That ball shy of the dark for certain. It'll still keep her as a joint leader, but she could have actually just scaled past her counterparts with that, and she knows it. She had such a good chance of just making the difference there. Yugi now, another one of the joint leaders. She's on to a second stroke for hole 11. So that's placed perfectly well. Han Sung-hee goes next. Jung Yoon-ji, second stroke on hole 10. Han Jin-seon will tee off for hole number 11.
플레이하겠습니다.
Well, that's an absolutely wonderful shot, and I think she should be proud. Park Hae-jun really will also stepping up her game here today. She's done exceptionally well, and I think she should be happy. Marasom aims for birdie on hole number 12. Jong Yoon-ji aims for birdie on hole number 10. And that's just gone past the destination. She'll be happy about the fact that she's done fairly well here today, Yugina. Hong Chin Young 2. And that's well played. Straight and narrow is the path that you need to follow here. Very well played by Hong Chin Young 2. Han Jin-seon goes in with the second stroke. That's just a miss. That's a nice tap in. Just a little bit of a dismal look. Wasn't too happy about that, and I think she's had her, well, moments here today. Well, it's on day 2 that things do start changing a lot, as I said, and you really, you need to pick up your game here. Kim and Sol for the second stroke. Here goes Park Hae-jun aiming for birdie on hole number 10. And that's just past the destination for her. Park Hae-jun will look to clean that up. She'll be happy about her effort. And that's nicely done. A little bit of joy here for Lee Jae-yoon. Getting ready to tee off. It's a par 4 for the asking for hole number 11. And that's going to be Hong Jin-young 2. Nicely done. Just needed 3 more rolls and it would have been in for Han Jin-cheon. Park Hae-jun gets ready to tee off now. She's a fairly tall girl. I do have, well, so is Park Geol if I'm not mistaken, but I was just looking back in a couple of, I think in the previous, in the Korean World Championship, I do remember there was like about 5 of the tall girls in the finale, chasing the main spot. And I kept saying, it's a contest of the tall order. And I mentioned, of course, in the nicest way possible, nothing, well, offensive there. Bang Jin-sil will tee off for hole 15. She's one of the joint leaders, a par 3 for the asking. She's going to employ a 6-iron for this. And it was the Dongbu Construction Korea Championship, and Kim Min-sol went on to win it. to be fair to Kim Min-sol, she too is a tall girl. So, well, that was a wonderful championship. I really enjoyed that very much. Bang Shin-sil will just travel towards the shoulder of the, well, carpet. Won Min Jong aims for birdie on hole 14. And a bit more joy here. We're just talking about Kim Min-sol. Lee Junhee will tee off for hole 1. Kim Min-sun 7 has had her own, well, challenges to overcome, but right now on hole number 12, it's going to be Yugi now. Hong Jun-young 2, second stroke for hole 11. She's going in with an 8 iron. And Kim Soo-ji is beginning to come into her own. I think it's high time that she did. Absolutely wonderful performance from her so far. Jung Ji-oh aiming for birdie on hole number 17. She's had 5 birdies in there. She's up to a 7 under. Very nice movement from Jung Ji-oh. And she's got the Red Riding Hood costume on. I'm just kidding about that, but I really do love it when you find, some of our golfers, well, they'll keep it subtle. Some of them, of course, will keep it somber, and some of them will keep it, well, bright. Park Hae-jun still on that 8 under. So here we go, Bongchun Sil now. That area at the top has been reduced to 3. Bongchun Sil, Yu Gina, and Park Hae-jun at the top with 8 under. Jung Jeo, Lee Shu-ying, Hwan Min Jong, and Kim Na-young, along with Mada Som, Kim Min Sol, Hon Jun Young too. There are about, quite a few of them that tied 4th, and that's happened, of course, with a few bogeys flying around. I normally would say birdies, but yeah. And I think, so now it's 3 at the top. By the end of the day, of course, we'll find out how things have actually panned out. I do love that water spout. Absolutely wonderful. So Hunjin Young, 2, aiming for birdie on hole number 11. Yugina aiming for birdie on hole number 12. Oh, that's another narrow miss. And a bit of a worry here. I think she would have liked to have just nailed that in, Park Hae-jun, but she will if she can, well, just tap that in. Don't think it should be much of a worry. And that's pretty much done. And she's just flown the green there. I think that's a bit dismal for her because there's a bit of a slope coming off the green. That's a bit tough. Han Jin-seon tees off for hole number 12. Oh, that would have been such a perfect result there. Jung Joo-ri. I think she should be pretty happy with that effort from her. Well, that is a terrific bit of work being done here. Just a little bit more and it may have curved in. Bong Shin-sil really coming into her own now. Absolutely wonderful effort there. And that's just gone past. Park Ji-young would have been well happy with her efforts, but keep in mind the fact that you've got well similar looking golfers who can make the cut here. And I'm very interested to know, well, if you look at Park Ji-young, Park Joo-young, and well, of course, you know, some of the golfers, and they carry a very similar gait and style. So very interesting. Well, that's beautifully done by So-hyun. Lovely effort there. She's gone up to a 6 under as she birdies the 17th. Ah, Jung Joo-ri, what a confident putt. Absolute confidence there. Beautifully done. And a semi-victory lap. Han Jin-seon aiming for birdie on hole number 12. And that's well done. Han Jin-seon at 6 under. Needed to birdie that, and she's done well. And that's, well, what you call a tad bit of, I won't say misfortune, tad bit of a rough ride. That ball, she's going to peek in there. And Zhang Jio will maintain her tied third with that 7 under. Tee off time back again. Zhang Jinyoung 2 will tee off for hole 12. And that's just going to go past well, the flagstick. Park Hae-jun will tee off for hole number 12. Kim Soo-ji. It's a bit of a distance, but if it goes in, oh, that is a terrific effort. And that is terrific. Well, a hat-trick of birdies on 13, 14, and 15. Kim Soo-ji shining on the in here. 4 birdies in there. She's up to a 4 under. What an absolutely perfect putt that was. Bang Shin-sil. That's got to be the worst case of lipping out ever. That is such a beautiful action shot. Oh, that is really one for the video archives. Bungson Silwell closing in on it and then kind of retaliate, or kind of, gets thrown back when it lips out. Oh, that is a fantastic bit of, well, video production, I'd say. Wan Min Jong will aim for birdie on hole 15. Park Hae-jun, as long as she can keep herself well grounded and not bogey any shots, I think she's going to be, well, pretty rock solid. Han Jun-seon, second stroke for hole 13. She's been a steady mover so far. That's a close call there. I think it's been a bit well, odd. The early part of the afternoon, well, the sun was shining bright and everyone was getting their putts right. And then, of course, there's been a bit of a change ever since. Let's keep you in the loop. It's been pretty easy on the temperature front. Kim Min-sol going in for a second stroke for hole 13. But 19 degrees Celsius, 0.2 wind speeds. It's actually pretty perfect, for a good round of golf. We've got blue skies in there. Kim Min-sol gains a bit of ground. Yugina next. It's not been the best body language from this young lady. She's been, well, just about a little, well, troubled through the day, and I think she's had a few challenges here. So Bangchen still leads the way with an 8 under. Yugi now, well, following suit there, and Park Hae-jun. They all are the top with 8 under. Jung Ji-ho, Lee Shu-ying, Kim Na-young, Park So-hae, and Ma Da-som are in tied fourth with 7 under, and joined by Kim Min-sol, Hong Jin-young-2, and Jung Yoon-ji. They're still up there at the top and still chasing, glory. So let's find out what happens right here in round 2. Of the Happiness Open. Remember, more than anything else, we're looking at 2 courses, the happy course and the human course. And of course, I do love to see that wide angle shot there, the Korean flag, right up there, flying with the happy course on those trimmed bushes. Stay with us as we continue with our coverage of this wonderful event on a very, very nice day. Lovely shot, wide angle, always gives us a good view of what to expect, and it's going to be tee off time here, back again, right from that beautiful shaded area. Very different actually, this location. Han Jin-young-2 will go in for hole number 13, 502 meters to cover. Now it's been a very interesting, well, equation for us as far as these holes are concerned, and I do believe that one of the things to keep in mind is, well, what are the challenges that are posed there. So Han Jin-seon onto hole number 13. It's a third stroke. Jong Yun Ji will go next for hole number 13. Kim Min Sol.
중간중간 먼저 가서 다리 잡아놓고 할 거니까.
Well, as long as you can try and push it, but it goes a little bit further and it's going to be a bit of a worry. I do believe that most of the golfers now coming into their own, trying to find, their way through. Bai So-yun too has had her own share of worries, but really about being able to, well, get those birdies right. There's been a slight, bump in the road. Here goes Hwan Min Jeong. She'll aim for birdie on hole 16, and that could take her up to a 7 under. And yes, she's named it nice and easy. Bai So-yun will aim to finish on par for hole 18. She needs to keep her she needs to keep those points intact, and she finishes with 34 on the out and, 36 on the in. Well, I do believe that she still has and close enough, but not close enough to perfect, I do believe. Han Jin-seon, but she's been a mover today. Up next, it's Son Jin-young too, as she gets onto a second stroke for hole 13. 302 meters to cover. Remember, she's still holding that 7 under score. Kim Min Sol aims for birdie on hole 13. And I think she'll be glad to just clean that up. I was just talking about Kim Min Sol a while back and how when she won the Korea Championship, there were a whole lot of these tall golfers there, and Park Hae-jun was one of them too, and she really did shine bright in that tournament. Jong Yun Ji onto hole number 13. So this is the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Open. We are into round 2. And that's another close call, but not close enough. I do believe that Yugina will try and uplift her performance because she really needs to come good, right? And had a very, very confident start to the morning. It's been a while since, of course, she's claimed any of the spoils here. A couple of the golfers, of course, have won. But Yugina would be very keen on at least, claiming one cap in that crown. Hon Jin Young, too, onto her third stroke for hole 13. Needs to get off a bit of a rough patch. Park Hae-jun, third stroke for hole 13. She's managed to keep it clean with an even score for the last couple of holes, and I think that that would be the intention. So Bang Chun-sil could very well be chasing a 4th championship here. It's been a very good comeback from her. Yesterday, she started off in a slow manner. Had a couple of great shots in there that really impressed not just the fans, but, well, friends and everyone who's turned up here. But today, she's actually come into her own.
주연이 들어? 걔는 뭘 봤을 때는 체력이 내가 너무 좋은 것 같아. 감탄만 하는 거. 예진이 오빠야.
Chance here to rectify things. And Jong-Eun-ji will just about miss out on the chance for a birdie. She can clean it up with an even score and stay at 7 under. Han Jin-seon. Park Hae-jun. It's going to be tough for a birdie. I think she just about misjudged the direction of that turn. I don't think it should be too much of a worry for her, as long as she can, you know, stay away from getting those positives into her scoreboard, into her scorecard. And that's turned straight out. And that's well played. Well, she certainly had to come good at the right time, and I think she has. And here goes Lee Shu-ying. I just love those ribbons. It's a beautiful contrast to that black. And she's been shining here today. 133 meters on hole number 18 to cover. She's placed that well. She's come really good with her skill in this year. And I think we're going to see a lot more of her, you know, not just in the KLPGA, but even in international circles.
여기 맞죠?
Function still. Well, decent enough approach shot, but just fails to get onto the green.
실례하겠습니다.
Jong-Eun-ji tees off for hole number 14. She too is up there with that 7 under.
오케이.
Nice touch there.
Okay.
Madasom will aim to finish on par for hole 15. Remember, last year was pretty much her season towards the end of the year. And that's going to be a narrow miss there. So Kim and Sol just needing to work a tad bit more. Well, she's been up there as well in that top region today. And Tan Jin Seon just missing out there. Kim Na-young. She's starting to have a good day too. Kim and Sol will look to, well, finish on par for hole number 14. She knows she has to make this count. And it's important here. And that's well done. Kim and Sol earning her stripes here. Well, she did win the Dongbu Construction Korea Championship. But if you look at the others, Lee Won has won 3 events and she would be chasing a 4th. And then, of course, you've got Bang Shin-sil who's won 3 events and Hung Jun-min who's won 3 events. Lee Shu-ying will look to, well, cap it off with the birdie here. And that's just going to, well, fall short for her. And that's well done by Han Jin-seon, although I think she would have liked to have just done it better. little bit of urging there from, well, the audience could help. And Bangchan still certainly has got a huge amount of, well, support here. Well, don't forget that Lee Shuing, of course, I was just talking about her and looking at, her performances. She won her first tournament in the Chinese, well, LPGA, and that was the CLPGA, only on the 2nd of December 2024. She's been around, well, for a short period of time, and if I'm not mistaken, she's just about 21 years old right now, and she's had a whole lot of wins in there. Then, of course, she trained in the Philippines. She's also, been abroad. But the beauty is, it was a dream to get onto the KLPGA because she won the finale of the Dream Tour, which is the KLPGA Development Circuit, and that was earning her a full-time playing card for this season. So she's earned her stripes. Jong Yoon-ji up next. Lee Shuing will look to finish on par for hole number 18. Was just talking about her. Worked hard to get here, and she's impressed. And that's nicely done. Well, she's had 7 under for the day, 35 on the out, 33 on the in, 4 birdies, and an absolutely clean record. It's been a very good performance from Lee Shuing, and I still love those ribbons. The red and the black, lovely contrast. Hong Jin Young too will go next with the second stroke for hole 14. She's got a 7 iron in her hand. That's very well played. It's on to, well, Park Hae-jun next. Second stroke for hole 14. Using a power wedge here. She's placed that decently well. Well, it's a bit of a walk down to, the next challenge. And while our golfers do that, well, let's remind you that we are continuing with our coverage of the Happiness, the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Country Club Open. Don't go anywhere, as we are going to stay with you right till the end of the day and right till the finish tomorrow. So while the leaderboard continues to tell us quite a story, it's also good to reflect on the current efforts of the front runners. Han Jun-young 2 will aim for birdie on hole 14, and this could take her pretty much up the order, and she's just missed out narrowly on it. You definitely need to try and make the cut here, because the top three are still sitting there with an 8 under, and we're talking about Bangchan Sil, Yu Gi-na and Park Hae-jun. Bangchan Sil will aim for birdie on hole number 17. That's a narrow miss for her. And I think she definitely wants to get up to that 9 under. She's been looking at it for quite a while. Jung Yoon-ji. Been a bit of a worry for her too. Hong Jun-min will aim for birdie on hole number 3. Sorry, on a third stroke for hole number 18. She finishes on a positive 35 on the out, 33 on the in. Very steady performance and a 7 under. She is chasing a 4th tournament. One of the nicest girls in the circuit. Very, very well focused. Very calm. I do love her temperament on the course. Park Hae-jun up for birdie now on hole 14. A chance here to get to the top of the heap, and yes, she will. Moment of joy there. She moves up to a 9 under to stretch herself just one spot ahead of Yu Gi-na and Bangchan Sil. Park So-hae. Second stroke for hole 16. She's done fairly well. Han Jun-seon tees off for hole 15. Mara Som, second stroke for hole 16. She's still on that 6 under. I'm sure she'd like to finish with a 7 or an 8 under at least. Kim and Sol will tee off for hole number 15. She's packed a good bit of body movement in that, a lot of arm power as well. Park so high. Needed just a little bit more of a push there. Function till second stroke for hole 18, and an approach will matter here. Oh, that is terrific. I think it just sailed a little bit further than she would have liked it, but it is still a terrific effort from her. And she has been the placement queen. Well, another golfer that really excels with that when it comes to really pushing the shots close to the tin cup is Lee Ga-yong. But it hasn't really been her best day at the office yesterday. Madasom aims here for a birdie, and she will get it. So she's moved up to a 7 under with 2 more holes to play for. She's had, well, 5 birdies and 2 bogeys in there today. Yugina. She's been all padded up today, and I do understand why, because it is 19 degrees. Kind of felt a bit cold in the early part of the day. Wan Min Jong tries to cover 85 meters on a third effort. She's landed it plumb onto the green for hole number 17.
하겠습니다.
Choi Bon finishes on par for hole number 15. She was the leader yesterday, did extremely well. Today it hasn't been her best day. She's stuck still with that 4 under, but she's still very much in the running, for the tournament. Well, that's well played, but that chip, I think, just a little bit too well strong, but to get yourself out of a rough spot is always going to be a good thing, and Kim Min-sol just about does that. Gwangnamilbo will aim for birdie on hole number 17. She's on a 7 under currently. Well, that gets close enough. And I think she'll just be happy to clean that up. Yugina will tee off for hole number 16 now. You're really coming to that part of the event in the day.
살짝 봐줘.
Park Hae-jun tees off for hole number 15. Remember, she's the leader currently with the 9 under. Oh, that's beautifully done. Very well played by Park Hae-jun. That applause will just kind of second what I've said. Jung Yoon-ji, she's had her moments here today, but I would not be upset if I was her. She's going to tee off for the 15th. Remember, she's got a 7 under. She's been fairly strong here today, contrary to thought. A good bit of power on that, and I think she's just going to sail at a distance from the flagstick. But she'll still be able to keep it together. Had a very lost, fallen expression today. Not her usual chirpy self. Do wonder if all's well, but she's performed really, really, the best that she could. An Sung-yi now will try and birdie this from the shoulder of the carpet. She currently has a 1 under.
심하진 않아.
살짝 내려. 오른쪽?
오른쪽.
축이 높다가 조금 바로.
그렇지.
이게 어느 정도 돼요? 살짝.
근데 여기가 생각보다 내가 굴려가 있지. 이쪽 넘어가 있고. 그러니까 보이는 거는 한두 컵 정도가 한두 컵 정도를 보고 그래서 거리감
Jung Joo-ri, she had a fantastic shot yesterday. Such a great putt. She'll aim for birdie on hole 15. that's fantastic. Lee Si-hee does well here, and it's a bit of joy for her too. I think much needed, at this moment in the tournament, and she's, well, happy about that. I would be too. Bang Sil will aim for birdie on hole number 18, and what a narrow miss that could have put her right up there in top position with Park Hae-jun. So Bang Sil and Yu Gin are still well in tied second. Han Jin-seon goes next for hole 15. Han Sung-hee needs to finish on par here for hole 18. She's on a 1 under score currently. That's a fine finish for her. Yu Gi-na goes next. Second stroke for hole 16. That's well played by her, but she's going to be just off for the area that she'd like to be on, which is, of course, the green. Bang Sil will finish on par for hole 18. It's been a decent performance from her. 32 on the out, 35 on the in, 5 birdies in there, and an 8 underscore. She had a very good run in the first, 9 with 4 birdies in. Well played there by Kim and Sol. Choi Yan will go next. 84 meters to cover. Jung Joo-ri will cap that off with an on-par finish. So Park Hae-jun at the top there with a 9 under. She's through hole 14. Bang Sil and Yu Gi-na are on 8 under and tied second. Yu Gi-na still has a chance to get to the top. Bang Sil has finished their efforts for the day. Hong Jun-min, Lee Shu-ying, Jung Ji-yo, Hwang Min-jong are, of course, they follow suit in tied fourth. Stay with us, don't go anywhere as we continue with our coverage of this wonderful event. This drone shot is absolutely stunning. It gives you such a view of the course. So the Happiness Country Club has come alive. We are coming at you live from it, and the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Open is on round 2. We're pretty much getting towards the later part of round 2. Stay with us, don't go anywhere.
여기야?
Chance for Jong Yoon Ji. And I think that's what's been disappointing her, the fact that she's been so close to actually, well, getting her score up. Kim and Sol will tee off for hole number 16. She had a birdie in the previous round. 7 under is the score that she's carrying. Decent form there with that lift. Hong Jin Young 2 will look to finish on par here for hole number 15. That would have been fairly decent for her, but I think she'll just be happy to, clean it up nice and easy. Yugina is actually taken very naturally to this course. Up next it's Park Hae-jun. Kim Na-young onto a third stroke for hole 17. Meanwhile, Han Jin-seon, I think it's been a great performance from her. The fact that she's been able to, just overcome yesterday's, worries that she had, and she just smiled through it all. Really going, leaps and bounds ahead with what she's done today. She's on a 6 under currently. It's up in the air. We'll sit just outside the carpet. Kim Min-sol, second stroke for hole number 16. Cho Ayan will just miss out on a birdie on hole number 17. Neatly done, I would believe, and she's finally got a smile on her face. Struggled through early parts of the day. Park Hae-jun will tee off now for hole 16. It's been an interesting one for her. She really did shine in this tournament. But just looking back, you know, she's had a couple of good, well, moments right through the year, but she missed out on a few, well, events. She did win the Lotte Open, and I was there for that on the 6th of July, and it was absolutely fantastic the way that she went about her business. But a couple of the other golfers, including Park Hyun-kyung, who just won the E1 Charity Open on 25th May, well, she hasn't surfaced with another win for a bit of time. We did see her yesterday. Gwangnamilbo looking to finish on par for hole 18.
어떤데 이거? 23. 여기 하나, 여기 하나. 어디?
And one of my favorite golfers, Hwang Yoo-min, hasn't been her year really. She's, you know, come out, made her presence felt in bits and bobs, but nothing really solid as such. Park so high, third stroke for hole 17. Oh, that's a fantastic bit of work being done by her. Well, and something to thrill the fans too. Good opportunity to make it count. Mada Som, she's got 2 holes left to play for. This is the 17th. Third stroke for her. And I think it's going to be important that, you know, she probably would try and finish within that top register. Wang Min-jong will look to, well, bogey the 18th. Can't afford to get beyond that because she will drop a very, very crucial point. And she'll finish with a 6 under for the day, 32 on the out, 37 on the in, 3 bogeys there on the in, and I think that was a bit of an undoing for her, but she'll be happy that she's going to be back tomorrow for certain. Kim Min-sol, picture of concentration as always. Oh, that's well done, and she finally gets up to that 8 under and tied second. 2 bogeys, and of course, she's had 5 birdies in there. A bit of joy for her. So Kim Min-sol is up to an 8 under, and now has emerged as a contender for the championship win. It's going to be interesting. Lee Ga-young, third stroke for hole 17. Let's not forget her 30 meters to the hole. She's got a 6 under. Oh, that would have been such a fantastic effort. And this is what she's known for, the ability to create something like this. Han Jun-seon will aim for birdie on hole number 16. She's been a terrific performer here today as well. We've got to credit her for it. That's a fine finish. Just what was needed at the right time. Over to Lee Ga-young. Chance for a birdie to get up there to a 7 under, and yes, she does. Was just talking about her earlier, and here she is back in the running. 1 more hole to play for, and she's already up to a 7 under. 3 birdies today. Consistent performance. That's just going to sit on the rough for a bit. Madasong aiming for birdie here, and she's done well too. So Madasong's going to be up there. Park So High also aiming for birdie. She could go up to an 8 under here. And yes, she will. Well, everyone's getting their birdies right, and when you need to get out of the beach, I'll tell you a little bit about the lighting changing. As you can see, the shadows being cast and which direction the sun is in. It's quite interesting actually. Always love that part. Hon Jun Young 2, second stroke for hole 16. 175 meters to the hole. Jong Yoon Ji, second stroke. Park Hae-jun, second stroke for hole 16. And right there in the shadows, it almost looks like an evening stroll with the light conditions changing. Always a joy to watch, if you ask me. And here we have it. Park Hae-jun still at the top of the heap with 9 under, and in tied second, Bang Chun-sil, Kim Na-young, Park So-hye, and Mada Som, who are all sitting with 8 under. It's going to be a very close call and an extremely close contest tomorrow, as we can see. There's no doubt about it. But it's all going to boil down to who really does better than the rest, and it will be interesting. Han Jin Young 2 got out of a tough spot, cleared the beach a while back. And I think she's done well. Well, to get out of a rough spot and just to come clean without too many blemishes, I think, well, that's really the idea here right now. Ju Gain. She's on a 9th hole. Park Hae-jun will aim for birdie on hole number 16.
Good. Nice.
Jung Yoon-ji. 3rd stroke on hole 16. That's a nice clean finish there. Kim Na-young finishes with 33 in the out, 34 in the in, and an 8 underscore. She struggled a little bit early in the day, but she's come really good. 4 birdies in there. I think it's been a very good performance from her, and she has reason to be proud. Parks so high, always, well, a tad bit concerned, I would believe. And you would be, especially if you're, well, trying to, well, uplift your performance. Having spoken of uplifting your performance, Lee Ga-yong just flew under the radar for the most part of today. It's our fault. We didn't really focus too much on her. But her second stroke here for hole 18, she's got onto, well, the green, but it's going to be a tad bit away from, well, the destination. And I think that that'll be a slight cause for concern for her. Mada Som goes next, 147 meters to cover. She's got an 8 underscore currently. That's well played by her. Yugi now, second stroke for hole 17. And she's got a smile for the camera. She's done well today, really well actually. Up next, Jugain will look to finish with a birdie on hole 9. And she finishes with 37 on the out, 34 on the in. A 2 over score, not the most desirable. But I think she'll be glad to have, tested the waters, done what she could. Choi Bon, who was the leader yesterday and one of the front runners, second stroke for hole 17, 248 meters to the hole. Hasn't been able to really get out of that slot where she's at with about a 4 under. Kim and Sol will look to tee off. And she's done that well. Definitely needs to be looking at what she can do better. Meanwhile, Han Jin-seon will tee off for hole 17. She's carrying a 6 underscore currently. Not a bad effort at all. Sohai's had her own, well, challenges to overcome. I do believe she's done fairly well, and I think she'll be concerned that, well, she could have actually nailed that, but she should be proud of that effort, because if you look at it, absolutely fantastic in construction, straight down to really, really good skill to be able to, well, get it so close to the tin cup. Now she just needs to clean that up easy, and I don't think it's going to cause any sort of a worry to her current score. 34 on the out, 34 on the in, finishes with an 8 under. She's had a healthy 5 birdies and then just 1 bogey to mar the day. So fantastic performance from her. Yoo Hyun Jo, second stroke on hole 9. We haven't seen, well, too much of her today. Yugina, third stroke on hole 17. We're pretty much coming to that part of the contest where we have to remind you, well, this is the first time that this contest has made an appearance in here, and it's something that we're looking at for a reason. Mada Som needs to aim for birdie on hole 18, and she could finish right up there with Park Hae-jun, with that 9 under. Mada Som to tie for the lead at the top if she can nail this. And yes, she has. Remember last year how she came good in the last few tournaments, and she's got a smile there. Hat-trick of birdies. We'll see her finish with 33 in the out, 34 in the in, and a 9 under to tie with Park Hae-jun, and she is happy about a job well done. Yoo Hyun Jo goes next as she aims for birdie on hole 9. Hasn't been the best effort from her as she draws close, but not close enough. She had a buzzer there on hole, well, right there in the, well, in, and I think that's been really her undoing. It's very different today. Yoo Hyun Jo, not her usual, well, attire. Nicely done. Lee Ga-yong will finish with 34 on the out, 35 on the in, 3 birdies, and all even scores otherwise. 7 under. It's been another superb performance from her. Choi Bon, fourth stroke for hole 17, started on a real high and hasn't been the best for her since then. Decently tucked up. Choi Yun-woo, second stroke for hole 18. She's carrying a 4-under score. And I think she'll be very keen on, making the cut here, doing something really special. Up next, Park Ji-ha is on to a second stroke for hole 18. She's on 3 under, 151 meters to cover. Lee Si-hee will go next. It's going to be a second stroke for hole number 18. Now that's going to sail past the destination. So we've pretty much come to that part of the contest where we know, well, who the front runners are and how things can progress, but it's not going to be easy. Choi Yi-bon looking to finish on par for hole 17. Yugina will aim for birdie on hole number 17. She's already on an 8 under. Remember, she's got one more hole to change things around too. Could have been a good option for her to have finished this straight. I think she'll have to cap it off with an on par. So Yugina well, will smile and settle for, well, her current score. Han Jin-seon, second stroke for hole 17. Park Ji-hai will go next as she aims for birdie. It's a very good chance for her to make it count. Up next, Kim Min-sol, second stroke for hole 17. She's got a chance to tie in there, along with well, Park Hae-jun as well, and Mara Som, who are currently sitting with 9 under. Lee Si-hee will look to finish there with a birdie on hole number 18. It's a good chance to do that. Oh, just a bit less of a turn, and I think it would have just been perfect for her. It's not going to concern her too much, but I think it's a good way to get started. Park Hae-jun, currently the joint leader, will tee off for hole 17. Oh, that is a confident tee off. Absolutely solid power in that. And she is looking to gain a bit of distance well on it, and I think that's so important, because at this point of time what you really require to do is just come into your own. In those last 2 holes, give it your all, because tomorrow might be a day of caution, but today is a day to build as much as you can. Choi Yi-bon, well, will bogey the 17th, and it just hasn't been a day. Started beautifully yesterday, and now she's down to a 3 under with 1 more hole to play, or 2 under. She's had a buzzer there on hole number 17, and that's very, very unfortunate for her. Started off in such a nice manner, was really looking, like she was going hammer and tongs at the contest. Jung Yoon-ji will tee off for hole 17. She too is on a 7 under. Has had a few disappointing moments, but she's done well. Choi Yun-woo look to finish on par for hole 18. And that's exactly what she's done, was just comparing her earlier to, well, 68 on the previous round, 72 on this round. It's comparing her to Park Ji-young and Park Joo-young, who, well, do have very similar style, probably the hairstyle more than anything else, with the short hair. But Park Ji-hai will look to finish on par for hole 18. She's carrying a 3 under here. I think that's important that she does well. So here she is with 38 on the out and 35 on the in, 2 bogeys and a birdie in there. Thank you. Yeah. Hon Jin-young had a birdie in the previous round when, well, she did attack this hole. Be interesting to see how she performs here. Yugina will go next for a final test, which is hole number 18. A chance to uplift herself to a 9 under if she can. Remember, it's a tough hole. So while Mada Som sits at the top in tied first, along with Park Hae-jun, she has finished today's event. But Park Hae-jun has still the 17th hole to finish and the 18th hole to play for, which means if she gets another underscore, she'll move up to the top back again.
여기야?
Back to Kim and Sol. This is going to be an approach shot, and it's very important to see whether she can will do better. Still has, that's a great approach shot, and she's got a very good chance. I don't know whether we really looked at her as being one of the favorites in the event, but she certainly emerged as one. Han Jin-cheon goes next. She's done fairly well too, but hasn't been able to shake off that, 6 under. Third stroke for hole number 17. Choi Bon, second stroke for hole 18. I kind of feel a tad bit bad for her because started off really well, and then she's had so many challenges along the way, especially today. And that's what happens in golf, isn't it? You can start off on an extreme high, and then you have things that will work against you very often. Up next, Yugina, 388 meters to cover. It's a bit of a distance. She's got to scale past the waters as well. We'll go on with the 6 iron, but 8 under is a healthy score that she's been carrying. And well played, absolutely well played there. Jong Yun Ji. Han Jin Seon next. It's a bit of a distance for her to cover, but she'll aim for a birdie here on hole 17. And I think it would be, well, advisable for her, well, I think logic-wise, to just settle for an, well, even score.
라이트 방향?
라이트 방향.
Hon Jun Young 2. So on to her second stroke for hole 17. Be interesting to see how she performs. That'll be an easy clean-up for her. Choi Bon aiming for a birdie on hole 18. Well, I think she'd be glad to put this day behind her, Choi Bon. Really hasn't been a great day for her, there's no doubt about it. Park Hae-jun, second stroke for hole 17. Well, no matter how much of power you tend to put in or how much you tend to push, it can be difficult. And Han Jin Young too. She's on to her third stroke for hole 17 here. Well, let's remind you of one key part here and something that we've ignored. So right here at the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Country Club Open, we are coming at you live from Najusi, Jeollanam-do, and this of course is Han Jin Seon teeing off for hole number 18. She's got a 6 under to contend with for the time being, and this tour tournament is very, very important because it's been included in the calendar, and I do hope it stays. 1 billion Korean won is the prize winnings. That's 696,917.50 USD. The main prize winner, the championship winner, will get 180 million Korean won. That's 125,436 USD. The second place will get 110 million Korean won. That's 76,675 USD. Yoo Gi-na aiming to tie for the lead at the top with Park Hae-jun and Ma Da-som. And a narrow miss will keep her just below the top two. But it's been a great performance from her today. Let's not forget that Lee Yu-lin won the previous tournament, the Sangchang-in Open, on the 19th of October. It was a 1.2 billion Korean won event, but she has been a tad bit silent in this event. The rail mover has been Park Hae-jun. She's the joint leader on to her third effort. And I think she set herself up for a birdie. She could go with up to a 10 under. It will be interesting to see how she performs. Still got one more hole to play for. Jung Yoon-ji will aim for birdie on hole number 17. Remember, she's on that 7 under. Almost well played, I would believe. And that's nicely finished. Yoo Gi-na look to finish on par now. Just missed out on nailing the birdie there. And that's a nice finish. Yoo Gi-na 67 in round 1, 69 in round 2. Finishes with 8 under. She's in that tied third, which means she's just off the top, where Park Hae-jun, of course, is with Ma Da-som. Park Hae-jun can change that still because she has to go through to hole 17 and then, of course, hole 18. Han Jin Young too, aiming for birdie on hole 17. And that's nicely done. Lee Junhee looking to birdie this on hole number 9. Oh, that is a stunning effort. That's going in the highlights. 78 in round 1, 74 in round 2. Finishes with an 8 over. What a stunning finish there. Beautifully done to cap that off. Straight off. Excellent work. Here goes Han Jin-seon. She's on hole 18, second stroke. Han Jin-seon's had her own day. She's been good. And Park Hae-jun, I think just a tad bit impulsive on that shot. It's not going to change, well, her position, but I think it will be a bit of a bother for her. And there she's, well, just going to reflect on that, because the last thing she'd want to do is drop back down to that, or, you know, get into a tied second. Kim Min-sol currently with an 8 under. She's onto a second stroke, going to go with a 5 iron. Jung Yoon-ji looking to finish well on par, and I think that she could just have, well, got into a bit of a, well, problem here, because, well, she was going great guns, and the last thing you want to do is bogey as you get towards the end of the contest. Park Hae-jun will go next. Looks to finish on par for hole 17.
사람들 서 있는.
And right down here at hole 18. It's going to be an interesting call for Han Jin-young too. She looks to, well, tee off. And she'll be happy about that. Well, she's got a smile on her face, and when you do have a smile on your face, it's always going to be, well, something to watch out for. Kim Min-sol. On to her third stroke. Well, if she can birdie this, that'll be another one for the highlights package. Came close, and I think she'll look to finish on par here.
하겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Park Hae-jun will tee off for hole 18 as well. And that's well struck. Han Jin-seon on to a third stroke for hole 18. And that's just going to sail past well, the tin cup there. Sumata Som and Park Hae-jun continue to lead with the 9 under, with Kim Na-young, Park So-hae, Bang Shin-sil, Yoo Gi-na and Kim Min-sol sitting in tied third. It's going to be an interesting battle here as we get into the last hole. That's the 18th hole for a few of these golfers. If Park Hae-jun can do well, then she definitely can, of course, maintain her spot there at the top or even finish at the top of the heap. But Lee Shu-ying has approved her medal here today. And we're going to see a very tough contest tomorrow. Pretty much it's a very close contest and not something where there is a bridge or a gap between the front runners. And that should be a decent enough finish for her, Kim Min-sol. Well, she's got an 8 under in tied third, and she'll be pleased with her efforts.
진행하겠습니다.
Han Jin-seon will look to finish, well, her day's effort as well. I think it's been a consistent performance from her, but at the same time, she hasn't been able to get above that 6 under score. Looks to finish on par here, and if she does, she will keep that 6 under intact for tomorrow's contest. And that's got to be a real undoing. If something had to go wrong at the wrong time, I mean, so close. It did hit the rim. It's just a tad bit unfortunate for her. I mean, the last thing she'd want to do is bogey that, because I was just saying she's stuck with that, 6 under right through today. And that's not going to work too well for her. So she will bogey, well, the 18th. So Han Jin-seon, 37 on the out, 35 on the in. It's a bit of a dismal finish for her. Han Jin-young 2. Second stroke for hole 18. It's a bit of a chill, as Han Jin-young 2 was saying, in the air. I think temperature would have probably dropped to about 18 or 17 or 18. It was 19 in the morning when I got here. But Park Hae-jun on to her second stroke now. She's the joint leader with that 9 under with Mada Som. She had a chance, of course, to nail a birdie, and she was a little upset about that. But that's a very, very good setup for her, and she'll keep that smile glowing for the time being. So the Gwangnamilbo Happiness Open, we are in the midst of round 2 being played right here at the Happiness Country Club. It's been the, human course and the happy course that have been used. 3 days of golf, pretty much coming towards the end of the second day. And I think it's going to be fairly interesting to see, how this contest, does pan out in the end after all the efforts of our golfers here. So Jong Yoon-ji aiming for birdie on hole 18. We're pretty much getting to the end of the contest here, as I said. And this is very important for the golfers now to finish off that 18th hole with at least a birdie to avoid bogeying anything. She's been very quiet today. Well, kind of lost in thought. But normally Jung Yoon Ji, well, is that kind of golfer. She'll hold that expression within, especially when she's disappointed. And she's had a few tough moments. Just seemed fairly lost in thought. The crowd has increased as we get to the clubhouse. We've seen a lot of golfers, families and friends, who've turned up for the event. Hon Jin Young 2 will go next. Interesting times here. And that's just going to sail past the destination, so a bit of a concern here for Hon Jin Young 2. She'll be able to, finish that with a meticulous tap-in. I'm not going to say a gentle tap-in. And that's well played by her. So Hon Jin Young 2 finishes with a 7 under, missed out on a birdie at the end, 36 on the out, 35 on the in. I think she'll be well pleased as punch to get back into the contest tomorrow. Now Jung Yoon Ji will have to craft her destiny, and so will Park Hae Jun. Don't forget that we are going to see all these golfers back in action tomorrow. Park Hae Jun aiming for birdie on hole number 18. And I think that's just going to be a bit worrying for her. She was a bit disappointed with the previous finish as well. Jung Yoon Ji still trying to craft her way. And she's really disappointed with that showing. Can't help but just feel a tad bit awful for her. And she will finish today's event with a 5 under. She bogeyed the 17th and the 18th. 35 on the out, 38 on the in. That look of disappointment there, because she could have still stuck with that 7 under. Now it goes down to Park Hae Jun, who could have gone up to 10 under, but she's managed to stick it to 7 under. So Park Hae Jun. And that's a decent enough finish from her. So 9 under, she finishes as the joint leader. 66 and 69 is what she's amassed. So just looking back at the highlights. And Park Hae-jun really put on a great show here today. It was everything expected, championship material from her. Meanwhile, well, Choi Bom had a very, very, well, dismal day. It wasn't what she was expecting, but Yugina was rising up the order, went to the top with those 3 birdies on the out itself. And then, of course, on the 14th hole, Bang Sin-sil, who also did extremely well here today, really came good with her performance. Missed out on a birdie on the 14th, but she would, well, still maintain her momentum in this event. She was excellent with her performance. On the 16th hole, 154 meters to cover, and she had that terrific placement, but we all thought it was going to find its way through to the flagstick. And then that expression was just fantastic. She was so sure it was going to go in. But that just slipped out, but she still kept at it. And I think that's where she kind of fell off the grid, failed to scale past that 8 mark. But meanwhile, Yugina had her own challenges, and then she came good with some excellent placement on the green. On the 14th hole, Park Hae-jun once again would go on to birdie that and to rise up to 9 under to claim the top spot on the leaderboard. Well, by the 16th hole, well, that was another really close call, and Hon Jin-young, well, was doing extremely well at that point of time. But on the 17th hole, Park So-hye came good to place herself perfectly. Meantime, Ma-da-som kept rising up the order silently from behind. We didn't really, expect her to scale, well, new heights, but she's come really good. Meanwhile, was another terrific placement from Park Hae-jun, who somehow or the other, although she maintained the lead at the top of that 9 under, just failed to take it to a 10. Fell short of it there, on the, well, 15th hole. Then on the 18th hole, that would have been such a fine finish, but Park So-hye did well to just cap it off and to finish the day's event with an 8 under. Meanwhile, Ma-da-som needed a birdie more than anything else to tie the top, and that's exactly what she did. Broke into a smile for the first time. Hat-trick of birdies at the end to finish with a 9 under. Meanwhile, Park Hae-jun could have gone up to a 10. Had a very good setup there on hole number 17. But it wasn't to be, as she narrowly missed her mark. And then on the 18th hole, Park Hae-jun, again, another chance for a birdie. Missed the line of the, well, Tin Cup entirely. Finished with an on par. And that's where she stayed with a 9 under, tied at top position with Ma-da-som. 66 yesterday, 69 today. So that was it as far as day 2 or round 2 of the Happiness Open is concerned in Gwangnamilbo. And right here from the Happiness Country Club, let's tell you that Madasom and Park Hae-jun still stay at the top, but they've got a couple of other golfers who are very close behind and who could challenge them. It's going to be one of the most interesting finales in golf when we get back to the Happiness Country Club tomorrow. Don't forget to join us. And my name is Glenn Mascarenas. Time for me to shut shop and ship out of here. I'll catch you again tomorrow for the exciting finale. And, well, thank you so much for sharing the action with us today. Bye-bye for now.